All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Patrick Bigby. We are having to break in now. We now have a tornado warning that's now in effect for Forest and Jones County here across the area. And this is actually going to pass really close to the TV station here within the next few minutes. So we may have to take cover here. So just everybody in Master Control who's here, just the heads up. We may have to take shelter because this may pass very close to the TV station here within the next couple of minutes. So tornado warning what has happened. This storm has ramped up pretty quickly here. And this is what I've been talking about. This has been a non-zero situation where the rotation has kind of just tightened up a little bit. And we have that area of rotation. So let me go ahead and show you where it is right now. So Forest and Jones County, you're under this tornado warning. The area of rotation is right here near Raw Springs, and this is about to pass over the TV station here. It's going to be passing over Union, Moselle. It's going to be passing over the north side of Forest County, north of Hattiesburg. So basically east of Butchie, northern Petal over here towards Macedonia. You all need to be getting into your safe spots right now because we are tracking that area of rotation here that's kind of ramped up within the last minute or so. So we're seeing a little bit of rotation here with this storm. And again, this is moving off towards the north and east here at about 30 miles per hour, and it's continuing to move off towards the north and east. So let me go ahead and put a cast on this, and we'll kind of draw out that track here. But again, this storm is moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. So we're talking about basically from Lux to Raw Springs, and this is again going to be passing off towards the north and east. So it'll be passing Eatonville at 12:08. It'll pass here at the TV station. It's 12:06 now, so it'll pass the TV station here in about 10 minutes at 12:15. 12:20 Moselle, Union at 12:26, Johnson at 12:36, and then Crotts by 12:43 a.m. So all of these times are when this area of rotation is going to be moving off towards the north. Basically, east of Butchie, it did not pop up your location, but I would just go ahead and say 12:15 because we're basically here in east of Butchie here at the TV station. But the rotation is not that far away. Thankfully, it's not terribly intense, but we're still watching it nonetheless at the moment. So the rotation is back off towards Eatonville. In fact, it's basically on top of Eatonville right now. It's getting ready to cross over. It's getting ready to cross over here pretty soon, the interstate. In fact, it's most likely on top of exit 73, Monroe Road at Eatonville. And this is going to be moving right over Monroe Road, east of Butchie, Wyatt Ellis Road. Basically, where Monroe Road crosses the Leaf River, this is where the storm basically is right now. So we're watching this very carefully. The Hattiesburg-Laurel Regional Airport, and this is not that far away from us here at the TV station. So with that said, one thing I want to go ahead and do, everybody here, non-essential, who are basically producers in the web, as long as the web team have Facebook Live up and going, I want y'all to go ahead and get into your safe spot. Obviously, it's the rooms off the newsroom with the green signs on the door, and those are the areas that you need to be in. Let's go ahead and start getting into our safe spots here, and then the weather team will make the last dash because ours is literally this door that is just around the corner here into the studio. So we'll be okay here, but I want to go ahead and get everybody who's non-essential for this broadcast to go ahead and get into the safe spot. So that would be the OTT room for everybody who is in the newsroom right now. But we're getting ready to take shelter here at the TV station. Again, this is a situation, tornado warning storm that is in effect right now until the top of the hour. And these storms are moving off towards the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. Hannah, I know you're looking at some other stuff. What are you seeing at the moment?
I'm not seeing anything other than what you're seeing. Luckily, I don't see any signs that it's on the ground right now either. So I'm just keeping an eye on how it's acting as it's passing closer to the East of Butchie area, the WDAM area. And like you said, it's good that everybody's going ahead and getting in their safe spots because though it's not on the ground right now, we're just going to continue to keep an eye on it since it did pop up so quickly across the area.
Yeah, and we're going to watch this one very carefully here. And again, I'm actually going to walk over here because I got to get my phone. This is really close to the TV station, so we're kind of watching this. So again, let's go ahead and get everybody who's in TMP, basically everybody who's in TMP in the newsroom. Let's go ahead and get y'all to the safe spot because this is basically knocking on our doorstep right now. For the weather team, our safe spot is literally this door that leads off the studio, so we can literally just walk in there right as it gets here. We're starting to hear the rainfall here at the TV station, and we're not noticing anything in terms of any heavy rain or anything like that, but the rotation is basically here on top of us. So we're getting pretty close to the weather department's time to move into the safe spot, but right now it is still about a mile or two just to the south and west of the TV station, and it is crossing I-59 right now. So that's where that area of rotation currently is, and this is going to continue to move off towards the north and towards the east. So east of Butchie, you need to be into your safe spot right now. Basically, Moselle, we're about to do so here at the TV station, and over here towards Union. Now is the time to go ahead and heed that shelter. We do see that rotation. It's not terribly tight, but this is the tightest rotation that we've had in several hours. So compared to other stuff tonight, this is not as robust, but it's definitely getting to time for us here at the station. So we're going to watch this for about another more minute, and then we'll probably, Hannah and Riley, go to our safe spot here as well. But we're still watching this. Looks like we're about to get a new update in from the radar. So once that update comes in, we'll see it. Okay, it's right about time. So all right, we're gonna go. We're gonna just leave this up, and the weather team is now heading to our safe spot. So if that tells you where we are in this process, then that's good news because that's where we are. I just need to unplug my computer, and then we are away and off. Riley, are you ready? Yep. All right. Okay, and the rain is here. And guess where we are? Well, we are into the old control room for the TV station. So we are all in here. We are taking shelter right now. If that gives you an idea of the severity of the situation, well then good, because that's kind of where we are right now. We're listening to our own advice, and we're currently tracking stuff that is happening right now. Hannah, what do you got going on at the moment?
Yeah, I'm looking on the radar scope of my phone and what you have pulled up on Max 1. I am seeing the rotation still right above the station right now, though I'm not really seeing much more to it. Let me pull up some hail and see if there's any hail with this storm. Okay, there's a little bit with it, maybe causing some of that rotation as well on the radar. Very, very small, if any, hail, though. So we're keeping an eye on it as it continues to trek up towards the north and east. Right now, again, right above the station and the east of Butchie area. So we're just going to continue to keep an eye on it as it makes its trek through some areas, calling out some times here. 12:14 right now, WDAM, it's right on top of us right now. 12:19 from Morriston, 12:24 Union, 12:41 for Ovette, and 12:42 for Krotz. So again, this is headed in that direction of the north and the east. So continue to get in your safe spots if you're not there already. Again, we are sheltering in place right now, which is why you don't see anyone on your screen, but we are sheltering, and I highly suggest any of you in those town names to go ahead and do the same, because this is making its way to you, whether you are about 30 minutes away or whether you're about 5 minutes away. I go ahead and get in that safe spot just in case. It's better to be way safe than sorry, as we're tracking this as it's going off towards the north and towards the east at this time. This is just a tornado warning storm. It's not on the ground. We're not seeing any indication that it's on the ground at this time, but you still want to go ahead and get in that safe spot just to be extra careful.
Yeah, and And we're still tracking it right now. We'll probably stay in our shelter for about another minute or so. But this is definitely not on the ground by any stretch of the imagination. But, this is the moment where we're going to have to practice what we preach. And, it would be irresponsible for us not to take shelter when we have something right on top of us, when I tell everybody every time that there's a warning that they need to do that. So we're practicing what we're preaching. We're staying safe. We're in the old production room here, which is ironic because the room that we're in used to be the production room that boothed us during all kinds of severe weather here across the area. So it appears now that the rotation has now made it east of the TV station. So what we're going to go ahead and do, I will say we'll just wait here one more minute and then we'll move out. But that's some good news. So it appears that the worst has already moved east of the TV station. So we're getting ready. We'll move out of our safe spot here in one more minute. We're just going to give it another minute to make sure. And then everything is going to continue to move off towards the north and east. So Union, you need to be into your safe spot now. The rotation now, it is just to the east of Butchie. It's kind of hard to see when you zoom in here, but when I zoom out, you can kind of see that rotation a little bit better. So basically from here over here towards Union, and then everything again moving off towards the north and east. So it's about to move over Union right now. In fact, Union at 12:22, Johnson 12:30, Pecan Grove at 12:34, Ovette at 12:37, Tucker's Crossing at 12:39, and Antioch by 12:42. And with that, we'll go ahead and leave our safe spot. So everybody else in the building, feel free to do so as well. Hannah, I'm going to let you take over while I hook my cart back up to power.
Yeah.
So just kind of let the viewers know what we're seeing here.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for pulling it back on me. So what we're seeing right now, it's still pulled up on max 1, so I'm just going to kind of point out what Patrick was showing you.
I'm going to have to walk through the
just
shot,
a second
so
ago.
sorry, y'all.
There he goes. He's setting back up his stuff right now, but this is what we're taking a look at. This rotation has now passed over the station, so we're coming back out to give you more information as this continues to update. In fact, it has just gotten out of Forest County. So Forest County, you're now out of this tornado warning that has just updated as this tornado warning storm continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. We are continuing to watch it as it makes its way through areas headed up towards Union and Johnson and areas of that part of Jones County. So the tornado warning is in effect until 1 a.m. for Jones County now. Forest County, again, you have been trimmed out of this warning. So it has passed through Forest County and making its way into the Union area right now.
All right, so this is now a Jones County thing. So TMP, it appears you're back in the booth as well, so you can now switch back to me. Thanks to everyone here for cooperating here. What could have been a little bit of a chaotic moment, everything's turned out okay for us here at the TV station. Excuse me. And now it is moving off towards the north. So the rotation with this is a little bit broader, but it is still tight enough that a tornado could be produced. It appears to have remained south of the Hattiesburg Laurel Regional Airport, which has only gusted up to 27 miles per hour. So it appears that it has missed that airport, which is good news. And now that rotation is basically right on top of Union here. So we're going to be talking about basically Ovette to Moselle Road, and also right here where it intersects with Augusta Road as well. This is where the rotation is at the moment, Tom Stockman Road, and this is going to be moving off towards the north and east. So over here towards Landrum Oaks Road, Ira G. Odom Road, Highway 29, basically the Johnson community. So once you leave Jones College, you go around the bend, there's 2 tall radio towers in this area, and then Johnson kind of sits here. A small little community, they have their own fire department, but again, this will be moving off towards the north and east. So everybody here, you need to go ahead and get into your safe spot and go ahead and just make sure you are ready to go here across the area. But again, tornado warning remains in effect for Jones County until 1 o'clock. And this is why I've been saying, and we even talked about this on Facebook when we were moving through some of this stuff. The threat was much, much lower, but it was not zero. And that was the one thing I kind of told everybody. I said, the threat not necessarily zero, so just kind of heed it. But it's definitely much lower. And this is what we were talking about. It's non-zero here, and that threat continues to move up towards the north and east. But this one cell spun up just enough that the Weather Service in Jackson had to issue the tornado warning. So basically, the storm now over here towards Union, and this will be moving towards areas around Johnson, Tucker's Crossing, and possibly Ovette as well. Let me get this to reappear so I can pop up some of these communities here. All right, so Johnson, basically it's on top of you now. Union, it's on top of you now. Johnson here at 1228, 1233 at Crotts. That'll be coming into Tucker's Crossing at 1238, Antioch at 1240, and Myrick at 1246. So this will be crossing over State Road 29 and State Road 15 here within the next, I would say, 10 to 20 minutes. So you need to be into your safe spot. Now, basically, if you're back here in Moselle or at East of Butchie, it's the all clear for you. Forest County, this is all clear for you as well. This is now solely into portions of Jones County at the moment as this moves off towards the north and towards the east. That right there was a piece of Velcro, but that was from my power strip. So it was stuck to my shoe. I was like, what is that? And so if you saw me violently throw that, it was what it was. All right, so we're getting a little bit of update still. The area of rotation continues. It's not as tight as, say, 5 to 10 minutes ago, but it is still credible here. So what we'll do over the last 30 minutes here, let me slow it down. In fact, we can go to really slow here, and you can kind of see how this storm has really kind of weakened here over the last little bit. But it's definitely not done just yet. But it was definitely insane to see how this just kind of, you see right as it moved over Raw Springs, it tightened up. But now we're starting to see that rotation broaden up a little bit. So the rotation with this is weaker, but it is still credible enough that the tornado warning will continue for Jones County until 1 o'clock. But this is why we're staying here, and we're going to keep you informed. Briefly, I want to touch on everybody else who is in the viewing area. What's going on in your location? Well, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about Waynesboro. You're just seeing some heavy rain at the moment. This will eventually move your way, but I'm really doubting, based on the appearance now, that this is going to remain tornado warned. I really doubt it will, but by the time it gets to Waynesboro, of course, we're still going to watch it. Elsewhere, we're seeing another line, the remaining part of that line of storms, basically now to the south and east of Columbia. That's moving towards Sandy Hook and moving through portions of western Lamar County now over towards Olo, and that'll be moving into Purvis and Oak Grove very soon here across the area. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at some of our sky cams right now. We'll start off with the sky cam out in Summerall. The storms have now just passed you, but as you can see, they received a good amount of rainfall, over an inch of rain, winds gusting up to 26 miles per hour. Now we'll head over to William Carey University. So currently winds are gusting up to 23 miles per hour there. Very heavy rain falling at the campus. Again, this is to the south of that tornado warned storm. If we go over to Jones College in Ellisville, we'll see what we're currently tracking with that storm. We have the camera pointed towards it right now. A lot of lightning showing up here. And right now the temperature is currently 66 degrees. And then finally we'll wrap things up in the west side of Hattiesburg. Currently still 74 degrees out there. Heavy rain falling. Look at that. Winds gusting to 23 miles per hour. And they've already picked up about 1/4 inch of rain so far on the west side of Hattiesburg. So we're still watching this at the moment. And we'll go back over to the regular radar that we're used to seeing as these line of storms continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. Hannah, do you have anything new coming in on your end so far?
Not so far. I am just kind of keeping an eye on the storm the same as you are, tracking it as it goes into areas of Johnson and eventually over in the Myrick area. I am seeing some comments on Facebook. Everybody's just really concerned that the sirens were going off in Petal. I'm just trying to reassure people that this is out of Forest County. This is now a Jones County storm. So if you are in Forest County, this is not your concern anymore. So you are fine for right now. Again, this is not a Forest County storm anymore. So I just wanted to make that very, very clear because I did have several people asking me about it on Facebook.
All right, and I just noticed this on the Weather Service chat. They're saying it looks a little bit more intense from New Orleans, so that would mean that the storm is a little bit higher up in elevation. But I mean, even that is a bit of a stretch. We're getting into some of that range folding right there. The storm is still there. The rotation may not be as strong, but of course the rotation is still there. So if you're in Union, if you're out near Johnson, you need to remain into your safe spot as well. And again, I want to get a little bit tighter here, so we're going to get some of these street names to pop up. Riley Johnson Road, Ira Odom Road. This right here is Highway 15 South, Monarch Road, Ovette, Moselle Road. I mean, the storm is right on top of you right now. And again, this is moving off towards the north and east. So this is going to be crossing Highway 29 here within the next couple of minutes. Basically, between Moselle, Union, Johnson, and Ovette, that's where this storm is moving through right now. Union, Johnson, Ovette, we got kind of the little triangle here. It's not the Golden Triangle, but it is the Jones County Triangle, I guess you would say. But this is continuing to move off towards the north and east. Here's 29, here's 15, and then this will move off towards the north and east. If it holds together, some of the more areas that'll move through eventually. And again, the warning does not officially include you, Stringford. So if this holds together, it could make it to Stringford. I really think that that's a bit of a stretch right now, just considering the ragged appearance with this warning. But definitely, you need to just kind of be on the lookout for this. And I would say the same thing for you in Myrick right now. It's a good bit away from you. You got plenty of time to watch this, but maybe have your safe spot ready to go just in case. But we're still watching it this evening. And again, this storm, it tightened up right as it moved over Raw Springs. And then it's just kind of weakened itself a little bit. It's weakening up a little bit as it moves off towards the north and east. But it's still not a zero threat. So we're going to continue to monitor this at the moment. Union, Johnson, Ovette, Myrick, just kind of watch this very carefully if you're in Myrick. And we'll see how long this threat lasts. Riley is our intern right now. She's watching some stuff on the radar. Riley, are you seeing anything new?
No, not right now.
No, not right now. Okay. All right, so we're still kind of tracking things at the moment, and everything continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. This is the only warning that we're tracking at the moment. So let's go ahead and take a home view of this. In fact, I want to just show this is the only thing we're tracking. This is the only game in town. This one tornado warning here in Jones County officially does not include the city of Laurel, and it does not include the city of Ellisville either. This is going to be moving off towards the east. So we're going to continue to see this move off towards the east. It looks like they have now canceled the tornado watch. They're trimming it off towards the north and towards the east. That's what that buzzer was. So let's take a look right now. So they're beginning to trim it down here, and let's see, click there. All right, so now the only counties remaining in our viewing area are going to be Jones County, Marion, Lamar, Forest, Pearl River, and Walthall counties, and Clark County. So they are trimming it down, and that's some good news. They're continuing to trim down those tornado watches. But again, we still have the one tornado warning here in our neck of the woods, and that is for Jones County until the top of the hour at 1 o'clock. Radar indicated this is what we're tracking at the moment. So this is going to continue to move off towards the north and east. And again, this is going to stay to the south of Laurel. Laurel, you do not have to worry about this. In Ellisville, you do not have to worry about this either if you live in Ellisville proper. Not to say if you have an address in Ellisville, but if you are in downtown Ellisville, this is clearly going to miss you. And again, here is where the area is, and here it is moving off towards the north and towards the east. So that'll come into the Johnson community at around 12:30, Ovette at 12:40, Myrick at 12:57, and again, should it hold together, which is a bit of a stretch at this point, Stringford at 1:03, and if it makes it to Wayne County, we'll get to that road when we get there. But for now, let's just continue to focus on the Jones County part of this. And I did hear the warning siren go off, so I'm gonna come over here to Slack to see if there is anything new. I don't appear to see anything new at this time.
They just continued it.
Oh, they continued it? Okay. All right, so that's what that was. Yep, they are continuing that tornado watch for the county, or that tornado warning, excuse me, for Jones County. At 12:27, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles southeast of Ellisville, moving northeast at about 35 miles an hour. And again, this is radar indicated, so we don't have any indications that this is on the ground or anything like that. And in fact, let's do this. I want to show you some of the shear with this thunderstorm, and that'll kind of give you an idea of how it kind of wrapped up a little bit, and then it's beginning to weaken once again. So let me show you this. It is right here, the shear track, or the rotational history with this thunderstorm. So you can see it just all of a sudden kind of it spun up itself right over Raw Springs. This is where the tornado warning was issued, and this is where it is now, and we're not even seeing any representation here from our 3-color scale. So that's a little bit of a good sign. As long as we're not seeing it on here, it means the rotation is weak. Of course, it is still strong enough that the tornado warning remains in effect for Jones County, but it is not weak, strong enough that it is showing up on our scale here. But you still need to be into your safe spot, although I would still say that this is a very, the rotation here appears to be very broad. It's a couple of miles across. And to give you an idea, when we talk about broad rotation, we're talking about a rotational area that is large. And when we're wanting to see a tornado, you're wanting to see a small area of rotation. So when it's broad, it's weak. When it's small, it's tight. That's what we're kind of talking about here. Hannah, do you got something new?
Yeah, they're saying that, like you were saying, the rotation is broadening, so it's acting more like a straight line wind threat at this moment. But given the history of the storm, they're still going to hang on to the warning just a little bit longer.
Okay. And it also says that they are now keeping an eye on a new small surge near Olo, still quite weak for now. So let's go ahead and kind of look back here to see what they are talking about here. So yeah, there's that little surge near Olo. Again, very weak area here. And again, that would be moving off towards the northeast too. Yeah, so again, that's just another small area that the Weather Service is noting, not saying that that's imminent to do anything, but again, we're just watching it at this time. So it's just an area of, if I was to use a hurricane term, it's an invest. We're just looking at it. We're not doing anything else. We're just kind of looking. And this is what that small area is. You can see very weak, but the colors are there. It's not as visible as this area is with the brighter colors, which means that is a stronger area of rotation. So they're just watching it, and we're going to keep an eye on it. If it changes, we'll be sure to let you know. Right now, 12:32, you're watching live severe weather coverage right here on WDAM 7 Hattiesburg and around the world on WDAM7.com. And there are plenty of ways that you can watch us. If you've lost power or if you have lost internet, there is no worries. We have plenty of ways that you can watch us. So what are we talking about? Well, you can watch us on your phone via the WDAM7 News app or the WDAM7 First Alert Weather app. You can also watch us on our WDAM7 Plus, that is our streaming channel on Roku, Fire TV, and on Apple TV. So if you've lost your satellite signal, but you have a Roku, you just go to WDM7 Plus. You can pull it up there, and it is just like watching it, and we can make sure that we get the same information to you. And we're also live right now on my Facebook, Patrick Bigby WDAM, and WDAM, the main channel Facebook. So we are making sure that you can watch us no matter where you are, whether you have satellite, whether you have cable, whether you have internet, whether you have an antenna, all kinds of ways that you can watch us. We're basically doing this short of coming into your living room and giving you the weather because we want to make sure that you can stay informed with what's going on here across South Mississippi. But again, we're still watching that one area of thunderstorms, and the only warning that we currently have is over here towards the Johnson community, and really now the heaviest stuff appears to be near Ovette, and that is moving off towards the north and east. It is getting ready to cross, it's right on top of 29 now. It's getting ready to cross over 15 in Ovette. But again, the rotation really is pretty broad. The rotation, I mean, it's noticeable, but it does not appear imminent within the next minute or so that it's going to do anything. And we're also not seeing any signs that it's on the ground either. So that's some good news in that aspect, as well as this gets ready to move off towards the north and towards the east here across the area. But again, we're watching this, and this really just wrapped up here within the last little bit. But some of those sky cams, we can show you those again. We'll start off at Forest General Hospital right now. We'll give you an idea. This is the original sky cam. We're going to look for a lot of lightning as we look off towards the north right now. 69 degrees. Winds are gusting up to 22 miles an hour at this location. And it is, of course, as always, anytime we try to look at lightning, the lightning never appears. It is camera shy, but that's okay. We'll just head over to another sky cam. So what we'll do now is we'll head out to Laurel Ford at this moment. Currently 71 degrees out there. Winds are very gusty out of the south at 25 miles an hour. Old Glory standing straight at attention right now as everything moves up towards the north and towards the east. So we're going to continue to watch it and we'll continue to keep you updated with it as well. So as this storm moves off towards the north and east, this is going to bypass you in Laurel, but you're still going to have to watch things nonetheless here across the area. Hannah, do you see anything new coming in on your side?
No, so I'm watching that area over near Olo, and it really doesn't seem like it's strengthening in any way, at least not right now that I can tell. I've been looking at the velocity for the past couple minutes, and it looks like it's just been kind of staying the same, just passing through, producing a lot of heavy rain, even a little bit of lightning, I'm sure, with it. Not too much, looking like it's coming out of that storm right now, though I am keeping an eye on it because the National Weather Service hasn't really given an update. They're keeping an eye on it as well, but from what I'm seeing, it's not strengthening in any way, so I'll continue to keep an eye on that while Patrick updates you more on the tornado-warned storm that we're still seeing over in Ovette in that area, which, by the way, the rotation on that storm is still very, very broad, so not really expecting that to tighten back up at this time. It's becoming more of a straight line wind threat as it moves through that area because the rotation is so broad, and like he said, that just means it's a wide area of rotation, not really a tight circular area like you would see with a tornado. So at this time, they're still keeping it attached to that warning, but we are looking at it more as a straight line wind threat than a tornado threat at this time. And that's really all that I'm seeing. I haven't seen any updates on the chat, though I am continuing to look as I'm keeping an eye on the storm at Olo as well.
Yeah, okay, so that's some good information there, Hannah. Of course, like you said, the rotation is becoming much larger in terms of overall space, which is good news. You want a very large, wide rotation with this because it means that it's spinning slowly. And you can kind of see now what we're talking about here. You can see it on the radar representation. You see how it's just a very broad area? That's more indicative of what Hannah was talking about in terms of very, almost more of a straight line wind damage. And it's passing over 15 right now. In fact, it's already to the east of Highway 15. And this is coming up close to eventually the Jones-Wayne County line. And most likely will reach the county line here by 12:45, and the fact is we'll just have to wait and see what Mobile decides to do. Obviously, I do not think that they're going to issue a warning with this. I believe if they were, they would have done so by now. And the Weather Service is now saying the southeastern Jones County storm remains broad and is now becoming less organized. Some brief gusty winds may persist, but it appears that they are going to go ahead and cancel the warning early. So that right there is some very good news. So it appears the Weather Service is going to go ahead and let this warning go. They're going to let it expire early. So this storm has definitely it ramped up really quickly, and now it's ramping back down again. And there it is. The warning has now dissipated. They have canceled that tornado warning. So one more time before we go, just want to give you a brief update on what we're tracking here. This is the storm that was tornado warned. It has now been canceled. They have let that warning go early because the storm no longer exhibits any signs of rotation. As we get a little bit closer here, really the biggest threat is going to be around the Hattiesburg area and into Forest, Lamar, and into Perry County over the next 30 minutes or so in terms of very heavy rain and lightning, but we're not seeing any other signs of any other kinds of rotation around the metro area right now. Of course, we'll let you know. We're going to be here throughout the rest of tonight to keep you updated. And again, we were watching this one little area that's about to move into Oak Grove now, but as you can see, that again too, it appears very weak, and I would say that would be more of a gusty wind threat than anything. But if that decides to spin up or do anything suspicious, we'll be sure to let you know, and we'll break back in on air and online to keep you safe and informed. But with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the coverage. So thank you once again for meteorologist Hannah Hayes, intern meteorologist Riley Bridges. I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Bigby. We'll now return you to regularly scheduled programming.